this be the world's worst diet? In this video, I'll explain to you why I think a popular called IIFYM, if it fits in your macros, is the absolute worst diet you can follow. And this is coming from personal experience. Over a decade ago, this was the very first diet that I tried, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Here's why. First thing is that it completely ignores the more important role, which is micronutrients. Macros matter, and the whole energy balance of calories in minus calories out plays a role in health and weight maintenance, but it's far more complicated than that. And if you're deficient in the essential nutrients, the fatty acids, the aminos, the vitamins, the minerals, regardless of what your macronutrient intake looks like, it's not gonna really matter. Eventually, you'll crash and burn. It may yield short-term weight loss, but over the moderate to long term, that diet's gonna fail. Secondly, you can't isolate the effects of macronutrients. Basically, what this diet says is that you can eat whatever you want as long as you're meeting certain key parameters, such as total calories and then the quantities of fat, carbohydrates, and proteins. As long as you're meeting those ranges, you can consume anything you want in any quantity and whenever. The issue with this is that the body and the mind, the metabolism, don't really work that way. I mean, do you really think that 500 grams of white flour is going to impact my body in the same way as 500 grams of fresh fruit? The two foods may have the same number of carbohydrates, for example, but that's where the commonalities end. Plus, the whole idea of energy balance being as simple as calories in minus calories out equals weight gain or weight loss doesn't really hold up. For example, if I was to eat exactly the same and start using anabolic steroids, my body composition would change, my mood would change, just about every internal biochemical process would change. So rather than IIFYM focusing on macros, what's more important that I like to talk about is focusing on IIFYM being micros. This is the whole concept of food being information, food that can flip your epigenetic expression so that you're eating your way to health and performance. And you can look into the idea of microRNA in food and exosomes and all that stuff to understand more about how food really is information. And that makes you think whether you want to send your biology information that is processed, highly refined, and destructive, or something that's natural and helps the body re-regulate. I've explained this concept a bit more in an article, which I'll link in the description below.